Hey my dear boys and girls, welcome back again to your favorite astrology channel, and which is JupiVen Astrology, the best astrology channel on this universe. So guys, today in this video we're gonna talk about Venus, and like we talk like something important about the Venus, okay? And by seeing that we can see your married life and spouse and a lot more things, okay? So this is for both male and female. If you are a male, you can watch this video for your wife. If you are female, you can watch this video for your husband as well, okay? Now guys, I would like to tell you before you move forward, you can directly take consultation from us. We have created a website now. It's so simple. You can go there, link in description and the comment section below. You can just click there, and just click of a button, you can just simply purchase directly consultation from us as the instruction are given on the website, and then we will just help you out in the consultation, okay guys? So for that, links are in comment section and description. You can purchase consultation also. Guys, Venus tell a lot of things about our married life, okay? Venus is like beauty. Venus is like the love of our married life. Venus is like happiness of our married life, harmony in our married life. Venus is love, romance, sexual pleasures that we have, and Venus is our creativity. Venus is like the kind of joy, the happiness, the joyful nature, everything we have, like the happiness and every materialistic possessions, everything that we have in life is Venus. And most importantly, Venus is also money, like from where you can generate your maximum wealth. That can also be seen by Venus, right? Venus is diamond. So guys, basically for marriage aspect, like Venus is your love, romance, etc, okay? Now the happiness of marriage is also Venus. So today what I want you to do, basically I want you to simply see where Venus is placed in which house in your chart, okay? Simply see where Venus is placed in, guys, in whichever house your Venus is placed, simply make that house as ascendant, and then see 7 places away from the Venus. Or if you can directly read that, then it's really amazing. You can directly see in whichever house your Venus is placed, see 7 places away from the Venus. Now for clearing your doubts, I am just telling you that if Venus in different house, then how you can see that. So if Venus is placed in first house, then you have to see like planets and sign in the 7th house. If Venus is placed in the second house, then you're gonna have to see your 8th house. If Venus is placed in the third house, then you're gonna have to see your 9th house. If Venus is placed in the fourth house, then you're gonna have to see your 10th house. If Venus is placed in the fifth house, then you're gonna have to see 11th house. If Venus is placed in the sixth house, then you're gonna have to see 12th house. If Venus is placed in the 7th house, then you're gonna see your ascendant or first house. If Venus is placed in the 8th house, then you're gonna have to see your second house. If Venus is placed in the 9th house, then you're gonna have to see your third house. If Venus is placed in the 10th house, then you're gonna have to see your 4th house. If Venus is placed in the 11th house, then you're gonna have to see your 5th house. If Venus is placed in the 12th house, if in that case Venus is placed in the 12th house, then you're gonna have to see your 6th house. And if Venus is placed in the ascendant, obviously you're gonna have to see your 7th house. So I have cleared everything. According to this, see in whichever house your Venus is, you're gonna have to see it 7 places away. So let's say for an example, Venus is placed in the 4th house. So now you have to see 10th house. Analyze which planets are there in the 10th house. Analyze which sign is there in the 7th house. Because why I'm telling all these things? Let's say Venus is placed in the 2nd house, then you're gonna have to see 8th house. You're gonna have to analyze signs and planets and everything on the 8th house. Why? Because Venus aspects 7 places away from its placement. And if you don't know about these things, then you're gonna have to read, or I can say see this video that I have showing the thumbnail of this video on the screen. After watching this current video, you're gonna have to see this video in which I have talked about the basics of astrology, some like houses etc explained in astrology. Also I have shown how you can read 5 places away, 7 places away. After watching this current video that you are watching right now, you can have to watch that houses video after going to my channel. On that houses video, I've explained like the basics of Vedic astrology, some important thing that you're gonna have to understand, okay? Now I'm gonna explain like some important thing about your spouse or like life, and also about yourself, like married life. And some more important thing also, according to Venus place in the different houses of D1 chart. Right now I am talking about D1 chart, Lagna chart, not the Navamsha. Okay, D1 chart is the chart today we're gonna talk about. Okay, about Navamsha we will create another video. Let's say Venus is placed in the first house of your Lagna chart, D1 chart. See, when Venus is placed in the first house, so first one thing you can understand is that it will aspect 7th house. Okay, as I already told you. So now you're gonna have to analyze obviously your 7th house also, like 7 planets etc. and sign, for your harmony of married life etc. Generally, when Venus is in first house, then it's like good, because it make you yourself attractive, charismatic personality, charming. At the same time, because of Venus aspect on the 7th house, a spouse will also be beautiful, having creative talent, interest in fashion etc, and also a very creative and artistic kind of a person can be seen. So Venus in the first house is kind of a nice first house defines physical appearance as well as your character. Okay, so Venus is the planet of luxury, love, romance, rich, so also like the sensual pleasures and these kind of things. Venus in the first house give you attraction, attractive physique, and like I can say the beautiful face, pleasing appearance, romantic personality, also great fashion sense, and love for fine dining, dance, party, wine, and like is it would like to make you center of attraction kind of things, like to be watched, or I can say photographed, or like admired, people admire you. Such placement is especially beneficial for women, because as they are beautiful, loved by everyone. Because if let's say some female have this placement, that Venus in the first house, then for them it's like it make them beautiful and loved by everyone, so maybe then males try to put efforts to attract that women, like because that women get attraction a lot because of Venus in the first house generally. Sometime it is also seen that this placement can give you a little bit rich, or I can say good family background, or rich parents kind of thing, who at least if not super rich, then at least they can satisfy your material needs. Okay, that if you want something, that they can provide. These kind of thing also seen. Sometimes if you have good other support also, then this is also seen that these natives can also earn good money in their life also. Okay, somehow they can also be like the dancer, actor, fashion model, musician, politician, athlete, doing business, music industry, fashion, arts, all these kind of things can be seen. Also Venus loves sweet food items, so some care is required to, because obviously because of Venus is over there, you may be, because first house is the house of your physical overall, so it may possible that you like sweet food a lot to eat, so you have to be careful about, because otherwise you might be in, just try to be control on your kind of sweet food kind of eating habit. If you have that a lot, if you don't have, then it's really fantastic. So overall it's like good. And as I discussed, spouse would be like very loving, loving, romantic, and little bit sensual also, creative person, and overall a nice person can be seen. But again, as I told you that other planet conjunction aspect and 7th house sign etc, these things, and nakshatra, then once you see everything, then it's really beautiful. Because that personal consultation is required, links are in description. Now let's move on towards second house. So see, when Venus is placed in the second house, then it aspects 7 places away from itself, which means what? Which means that it aspect 8th house. So Venus aspect on the 8th house, for your married life, like the sensual pleasures etc is quite amazing, that can be seen. And also supports from in-laws, or like both kind of support, right? So money wise is also good, and from the in-laws etc., they are quite supporting for you. And at the same time, one thing you might avoid, that having secret affairs etc. after marriage. So you have to be just aware about that, right? So because of aspect on the 8th house, so positive side are also there, but little bit negative is that you might be interested in having extramarital affairs because of this placement. You yourself, not your spouse, it's you, because of your chart, this extramarital affair thing is for you. So you have to be careful about that. Although because of here, it may give you interest in like these research kind of field, or like a tarot card reading, astrology, and a lot more, these kind of hidden mystic sciences, and like the hidden other dimension things it can give interest, like also it might increase your life, like long life can also be seen, like the longevity in life can be seen because of this. uh, and also like Venus in the second house generally says, because its second house is naturally the Taurus sign according to the Kalpurusha, and it's like it's Venus own house, second house, because so due to which it also signifies wealth, luxury, and fame in your life, because Venus is there in your second house. So it shows that generally these people will be rich at some point of time in their life. So because of Venus is right there. So however, Venus being the planet of show off and like all these kind of things, and also second house is the house of accumulated wealth. So it may possible that these guys love perfumes and wearing good rings etc, having watches collection, clothes collection, having lots of perfumes, lots of clothes. So little bit show off type can also be seen sometime. So these things can be seen, but generally Venus is good in the second house. Okay. Yeah, again, Venus is the second house, chances of getting a loving and a rich family. Obviously for that we're gonna have to see that if other planets, what kind of conjunction etc there, but generally these things can be seen. So maybe having artistic talent, maybe singing, music, and these kind of things are seen. And also native is like a peace loving person, have a very sweet and soft voice, very nice voice, have that that attraction in their voice, like right now I am speaking, my dear boys and girls, the kind of same kind of attraction that when they speak, people likes to listen them. Okay. So these kind of things are seen. Also they have very good dressing sense, because of Venus in the second house, it increases, it improves your dressing sense. They are good in that sense. Okay. So it's like good in terms of money. At the same time, although for that obviously gonna have to see a lot of consultation etc, but again Venus in the second house, again as I already told you many things, good for money. And native is really attracted toward the luxurious kind of thing also. Luxurious kind of thing is really important for native. Second house is also your material, representative material place. So Venus will be good, Venus will give a good married partner generally, because of placement in second house and respect on the 8th, right? Venus over here, Venus aspect on the 8th house, great for inheritance. Okay, generally these things can also be seen, that Venus in the second house, people have rich in-laws. Okay. So guys, overall it's really good, but again we're gonna have to see whether like any malefic aspect is there, should not be there. And then if benefics is aspecting, like let's say Jupiter is aspecting then this placement, then it's like a big plus. Venus in the second house and Jupiter is aspecting Venus, then it's like a big plus. In the same way, for that personal consultation is required. To see the big picture, for that link is in comment section and the description below. Now let's move to our third house. When Venus is placed in the third house, then what will happen? See, when Venus is placed in the third house, then Venus aspect the ninth house, as I already told you. So it's like a although after marriage maybe a good luck can be seen, foreign traveling related to foreign, like money making related to, because for ninth house is also long distance travel, and also maybe education etc. So these things can also be seen. So ninth house is like spirituality, some kind of religious teacher, etc. can also be seen after marriage, kind of forming, and also little bit interest in religion, etc. Long distance traveling, improvement of luck, because ninth house is also the house of luck. So after marriage, maybe your luck get better. These things can also be seen. Now, third house is the house of communication, boardroom meeting, media, and marketing, advertising, social media, or media kind of things can also be seen. The Venus in the third house makes native a little bit, fleshy talker or sociable or over like materialistic person. They have very materialistic possessions in their life, like I want to this, I want that, I want that. uh, Third house also bring little bit like creative art. Native can be have career in writing, handicraft design, music, arts, painting, singing, news anchor, etc. Although again, full horoscope is consultation for the requires that, because certain planet can be conjunct, certain planet is aspect, okay, and nakshatra, etc. everything we have to see. But generally, even if native is having any career, then he may have interest in these things. This can also be seen. Native may able to go, or I can say also go on short distance travel, or like traveling for business. uh you know Venus in the third provide loving siblings also, and especially third house is the house of younger sibling especially. So Venus can give you a loving younger sibling, because Venus is there in third house. You have good relation with this younger sibling. But again, if malefic is expecting that, or like all those kind of things, conjunction, etc., then things can be changed. Okay. uh, so because of Venus in the third, it may possible that you may like to socialize with neighbor, etc. Maybe neighbor, etc. Maybe your neighbors, or like the people maybe a good influential and rich person sometime that live in your neighborhood, etc. See, generally, as Venus is like the dhan karak planet, that means not dhar karak. I am talking about dhan karak. Dhan means wealth, like wealth generating planet. Venus is a wealth generating planet. So and it's placed in the third house. Third house is also the house of self effort. So it can also show that person will make money or create wealth by his own efforts. It's like, money generating kind of thing can also be seen by communication, teamwork, sales, planning, advertising, time management, endorsement, media promotions, all these kind of things. He may be also be like a specialist in some feminine related field, like love, beauty, fashion, romance, music. Maybe working for like female undergarment, any kind of things can also be seen, also by traveling, etc. So because of Venus over here, these things can be seen. Again, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but generally these things are seen when Venus is there. Now let's move on to fourth house. When Venus is there in the fourth house, so it aspect 10th house by its seventh aspect. So so when Venus is there in the fourth house, so it can be very blessed placement for you, very good placement, amazing placement. Why? Because first thing is that fourth house is the house of moon, and it's like moon is the friend of Venus. Okay. And also moon is a bit like the moon and Venus are both like the feminine type of planets. So because moon and Venus both are there, because we both are like friends, and Venus is in the house of his friend moon. So in the fourth house, it is good because it can give native, like the car, etc., very good home, luxury, happiness. And after marriage, maybe his, because aspect on the 10th house, his career can be good, or I can say he can flourish in career, may get fame in the career, he get all the luxuries, good car, good home, very happiness. Especially after marriage, these things can be seen. Basically, Venus in the fourth house, if again another, not any malefic is aspecting, or like conjunct, or all these kind of things, but sometimes that can also be good. But obviously for that, full horoscope is consultation is required. But generally Venus the fourth house, if there, then it can give happy domestic life, or like the happy life you have good, comfortable, peaceful, and happy, luxurious, and very good life generally. Okay, because of Venus is there in the 4th house. Now let's talk about the 5th house. When Venus is placed in the 5th house, then it's like, Venus aspect 11th house, because 7 places away from the 5th house is 11th house. So Venus aspect on the 11th house can show that, it like you can make money through like creative kind of things, or like your friends are really creative. Maybe you have lots of female friends, right? And network circle can be good. Sometime good person, rich persons can be there, or influential persons in network circle. So generally 5th house is the house of lot of things like the study, etc., but it's the house of love, romance, etc., and Venus is also the planet of that. So sitting over here in the love romance house, Venus increases these kind of thing into you or into the native, because you have Venus in the 5th house. So you might be very loving and romantic kind of person. Okay, and also Venus in the 5th house, sometime it is seen that if other factors are also supporting, it can give you love marriage. Okay, and love marriage can also be seen because of Venus in the 5th house. So it bless the native with beautiful loving kids. Yeah, this can also be seen. Your kids will be beautiful and very loving, because Venus in the place 15 Venus is placed in the 5th house. But as Venus is like the feminine planet, so it may give you daughter, or I can say first child can be daughter, but again for that full horoscope consultation is required, and son can be later on. Okay, first child can be daughter. However, Venus is more interested in love, romance than duties, or like parenthood, because Venus in the 5th house, you are more interested in having affairs, etc. with, I hope you understand. Native if you see the native, will, I can say that will have connection, or I can say maybe involvement in theater, art, politics, etc., because Venus in the 5th house. So you may interested in all these kind of loving, romance, and having affairs, and like maybe if doing love marriage, then it's really good for you. And maybe they wants to create videos, they wants to just enjoy their life, they have creative talents, they may be in some arts can be anything, they have very creative talents, they may be interested in politics, and they will definitely want to enjoy luxurious pleasure. Okay, and all these kind of Venusian things are seen when Venus is placed in the 5th house. And also native will be fond of parties, movies, theater, arts, entertainment, and he will spend on children, theater, amusement, relationship, love, romance, political interest, or sometime if it go negative way extreme, then he can also invest in gambling, casinos. But again, it depend upon your destiny and luck, or like chart, that whether some, you can see some people like who have invest in gambling, and sometime maybe very few percentage people, they have like I should not name of one particular person, but hope you guess it. You can comment that in the comment section below his name. They have like they want to live a different life, they have lots of money, they win by gambling, and they want to spend time with lot of women, etc. Okay, so that kind of thing, if you go in the negative extreme, then these can also be seen. But again, for that, if let's say you are doing negative way but still it's giving you money, then what can I say? Like, it depends upon individual. So generally guys, these things can also be seen. Now sometime it is also seen that these people are flamboyant dressers, like with high style and a need of attention. So these things can also be seen, like wearing the what I can say, showing off type of costume to show like the high appearance in society, or doing something which can show these things. So guys, this is all about 5th house Venus, but generally, but full horoscope is consultation is required to see the big picture. Now let's talk about Venus in the 6th house. When Venus is placed in the 6th house, see, 6th house Venus aspect on the 12th house, so it may be possible that Again 12th house is also the bed pleasures kind of thing. So like marriage bed pleasure wise is good. But again, it's like you may have tendency to hide from your something from your partner, etc. If you have that, then just try to avoid that. For married life, I can advise you. And generally Venus aspect in the 12th house can also be show that you may make money through foreign travels, or like say, I can say foreign something like the foreign client or foreign things can also be seen because of Venus is placed in the sixth house. But see, sixth house is apart from, it's like a house of your daily life routine, depth, diseases, and lot of things. Planet like Venus in the sixth house when placed, so on the positive side, sixth house belongs to the service and condition, like working under, or I can say giving your services, or like the healing kind of things. But generally you can consider it giving your services. Okay, so like I am working in astrology and I am giving you my astrological service. In the same way you can be in any service. Let's say there is a doctor, he is giving his consultation by to the client by advising him medicine, etc., giving his service or her service. In the same way, this is the house of services. It can be job, it can be business, but mainly is the house of service. Okay, or like the daily routine, the kind of service you would like to provide. So because of Venus over here, native will enjoy working uh, environment of, like with the assistance of co-worker and employee. Venus here will help native to handle the critical and unfair situation with a pleasant and diplomatic style. Okay, so let's say someone, you have this placement, so then you have a client who have a very, I can say, bad situation, then you will try to handle that with very, I can say, calm and gentle kind of thing, like it's okay, everything will be fine. So you will just try to, what I can say, like a very diplomatic and a pleasant way, you will try to handle the situation and you will try to convince your client. These things can also be seen. Okay, see, from finance or money point of view, Venus is good over here, because surprisingly, because sixth house is also the artha houses. Okay, sixth house is one of the artha houses, like the houses for money, or like I can say earning, etc. And if you see sixth house, then it is nine places away from the 10th house. If you start counting 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth house is 9 places away from the 10th house. Okay, and so it indicates the highest professional placement in medicine, law, teaching, or divinity. Okay, these things can also be seen, because 9th house is the house of, I can say, like the higher kind of thing, higher education, teaching, and all these kind of things. So it can show, although because of 6th house involvement right there, medicine, law, teaching can also be seen, the field related to it. Further, it is like 11th place is away from the 8th house. Okay, 6th house, if you start counting, 11 places away from the 8th house. But again, for understanding all these things, you can have to see that my basics video. After watching this video, go and see that all houses video, in that I explain everything. After listening that, you can understand easily, like the 8th house is 8 places away or 11 places away. So if you start counting from the 8th house, then 6th house fall 11 places away. How you can start counting? 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you start counting 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So it's like 11 places away from the 8th house. 8th house is unexpected wealth. Okay, sudden gains. And 11th house is the house of profit. So 6th being 11th from the 8 can also show like gain from the any kind of sources. So maybe you gain by sometimes these people can gain from you with, they don't even know, suddenly they gain money from anywhere, like find some money, etc. It can also be seen. Sometime musician, model, artist, fashion or ornament designer can also be seen. Profession related to medicine, healthcare, drug treatment, and these things can also be seen. And because of Venus in the sixth house, these things, it is generally seen that these people may be working for welfare of animals, love with pets, animal, like they are pet lover, caring of pets can also be seen. Okay, see, for sure there are plus and minus, but generally I likes to discuss that are like the positive things about over here. So generally, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Just saying anything bad because of some placement, I don't think so that's really a good idea, because a certain planet can be aspect, then nakshatra conjunction, all these things we have to see, but I would like to tell at least the positive aspect of something. Okay, now let's move on to seventh house. When Venus is placed in the seventh house, so it will aspect first house, which is yourself. First thing I would like to tell you, see, when Venus is there in the seventh house, because of this placement, you will get beautiful, charming, attractive, romantic, sensual, seductive, very sensual, creative, amazing, brilliant partner. You will get it. But there's one thing, because of displacement, your spouse will be amazing. Okay, I'm 100% he or she will be amazing, but the problem is within you. Because of displacement, it make you very sensual person yourself. You are a kind of a person who have lots of affairs. So let's say you are married and you have amazing spouse, and even then you have amazing spouse, even then you are having extramarital affair, that is your problem. So you have to be careful. If you have amazing wife, if you have loving, caring, beautiful, loving, romantic wife, then just enjoy with her. Okay, don't try to indulge in too much of what I can say, this extramarital kind of thing. Because of displacement, you are lucky that you have some amazing wife, but if your mind is again going towards other women's or like men, then please control yourself, otherwise you will spoil your relationship. Okay, so whatever, this is the advice that I would like to give you. But generally, because Venus is also the significator of seventh house and its place in the seventh house, so it means like in terms of marriage, business, partnerships, contract, it's really good for you. Okay, native is charming, that means you are charming, because obviously it's like attractive, its aspect is on first, is aspect is on first house. Venus is placed in the seventh, so aspect the first house. So native can have good physical features, because Venus aspect on the first house by placing in the seventh house, it makes you yourself beautiful and your spouse is also beautiful and attractive. And also spouse could be wealthy also because of Venus in the seventh house. Seventh house is like the 10th places away from the 10th house. If you start counting from the 10th house, seventh house fall 10 places away. Again, for this concept, you're gonna have to see our basics video that is showing on the screen. After watching this video, go ahead and see that basic video of houses etc. in Vedic astrology. So it works as like the career house as well, for because 10 places away from the 10th house. So native will be good wealth from the business, jewelry, clothing related to sugar business or jewelry business, clothing business, designer item, working for the female undergarments or like the female clothes etc, like that, female cosmetic, women, luxury food, artistic or luxury good or food, or like the musical or artistic instrument. All these kind of Venusian business can be good in terms of making money as your career. But again, for the full horoscope consultation required, but generally these are like the strong things. And maybe some time working in entertainment or like film industry, marriage bureau business, these things can also be seen. Sometime diplomatic career can also be seen. uh, it is also a good placement for having a female as your business partner. Okay, so Venus in the seventh house, many cases can indicate early marriage, but again for that we're gonna have to see other placements etc. Okay, and the consultation is required to see all the I can say aspect, and then lots of things we're gonna have to see overall. But is generally a good thing over here, and I have discussed the most important things, and also I have given you some advice in the beginning of Venus in the 7th house. You're gonna have to be take care of that, right? Now let's move on to Venus in the 8th house. So see, when Venus is placed in the 8th house, it will aspect second house of your accumulated wealth, money, luxuries that you are attracted towards. So Venus being placed in the 8th house, Venus is luxury, romance, and all these kind of things. Venus in the 8th house can give you wealth through inheritance, in-laws. It can give wealth you through investment in gold. It can give wealth through mutual funds, stocks, okay, stock market, insurance, or like the hidden money, right? It may give you wealth through lottery also, because that is also hidden money. It may, you can literally with this placement sometime you may also possible that you can find like hidden money anywhere. It's like this, okay. 8th house represents physical sexuality, also sexual act, because it's like a hidden activity inside your bed, your inside room, bed, etc. Okay, so Venus in the 8th house can also show that you will have many affairs in your life. 100% I have seen that before marriage, and these guys have like lots of, and generally I have seen that Venus, because of Venus in the 8th house, it is seen that uh, opposite sex is attractive toward these natives, whether they are male or female, depending upon their gender. These things can also be seen. 8th house can also give you a beautiful spouse, because obviously second house is the house of your face also, and because and also Venus in the 2nd or 8th axis can give you beautiful spouse. And because if you start like the 8th house is second from your 7th house, so we can say that it is the face of your spouse, because of if you make 7th house your ascendant, then second house from the 7th house is 8th house, which is like the your spouse face. So it can give you a beautiful spouse also, okay. So although guys, if I just talk, I can talk lots of things. There can be a changes or ups and downs can also be possible, but still, like, without seeing any other things, I would not like to discuss the other aspect. So these are the positive things, or like I can say the good thing that you can have with Venus in the 8th house. But again, full horoscope consultation is required to see the nakshatra and then conjunction aspect and everything. For that, links are in comment section and description below. Now guys, let's move on to Venus in the 9th house. So when Venus is placed in the 9th house, it aspect 3rd house, okay, by its 7th aspect. So 9th house is the house of higher learning, like the post-grad or like the master's education that you have, or like the fortune also. 9th house is the house of fortune, okay, or we can say luck. 9th house is the house of long distance travel, okay. These things can also be seen by 9th house. Generally Jupiter is the significator of this house, and Venus generally Venus here show that Venus in the 9th house, or Venus show over here that person will have profits from long distance traveling, okay. Like the maybe you are traveling, and through traveling you are doing something by which you can, like, let's say you are traveling and you are doing like maybe travel vlogging and travel blogging kind of thing. You are making money from that. You are traveling for business purposes, having some business deal, then you can also make money from that. You may create a movie at some long distance travel, then it's may possible that you may create money from that, okay. So these things can be seen that, like, oh, by long distance travel person can make money, or like it can make a woman diplomat, you know. And also sometime higher study in art, design, creative fields can also be seen. The person having this placement, he may be having a higher study in creative kind of field. Venus is love, romance, fashion, music, show off. Venus, generally contribute in these things, and long distance travel also. Again, ninth house is a lot of things, but as per Venus, these things are seen generally. And because ninth house is the house of your luck also, so again after marriage, maybe your luck increase, right? And marriage turned out to be lucky for you. You may go to travel to foreign countries, etc. Okay. Sometime it can also be seen that because Venus in the ninth house, so spouse can be from long distance or like the foreign country. Okay, these things can also be seen. uh, Now, if let's say you are, Venus happen to be your ascendant lord, let's say you are a Taurus, or I can say Libra ascendant, in that case, it can also be seen sometime that you can be an international teacher. Let's say you are teaching on YouTube and you are teaching to different country people, then it can also be seen. Uh, Also, if you, so generally, it's like a good placement for Venus in the ninth house in terms of like the traveling to different country, having pleasure from that, and also like in terms of fortune, it's really good. Full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Now let's talk about Venus in the 10th house. Venus in the 10th house. Okay, when Venus is placed in the 10th house, it aspect the 4th house. So because over here Venus placement is expecting in the 4th house, so after marriage maybe you have a good uh, happiness in life, because 4th house is the house of happiness. Also good relation with the mother after marriage can also be seen. Very good life, happy loving life, and also a very fortunate because of having a good home, beautiful home, very amazing luxurious kind of things are present in home, having a good car, everything as luxurious and good can be seen in your home, car, etc. Because of this, Venus in the 10th house, and it aspect the 4th house, because Venus from the 10th house aspect 4th house by its 7th aspect. Due to this, these things can be seen. Okay. Now Venus in the 10th house is like a strong indicator that person can be, have career in like interest in arts, fashion, designing, film industry, jewelry, kind of business, or like the music industry, entertainment or film industry, media, beauty, fashion, perfume related some work, interior designer, and all these kind of Venusian fields can be seen, or like the arts, or like we're doing female cosmetic, or in any kind of female clothes, etc., undergarment, anything can be female clothes, etc. Business can also be seen, or like beauty products, because of Venus placement. Venus also represents sweet things such as sugar, etc. So sweets business can also be seen, pastry shop, sugar factory, anything can be seen with Venus over here. However, also like Venus in the 10th house can give you fame at certain point of time, depending upon other placement, and conjunction. Venus can give over here fame also. However, influence of other planet may change the things, obviously. uh, that is like the native can also become a good doctor, certain like you have these cosmetologists can also be seen. So again we're gonna have to see overall, right? It may also possible because of Venus in the 10th house that you have female bosses, like the boss you have could be female, then like it's supportive for you. So native will be fashionable and have extravagant lifestyle. He will be fond of very good gift, personal purchases, flashy dresses, ornament, accessories, perfumes, and musical instrument, fine dining, etc. These things are seen. And obviously, as I discussed earlier, Venus, because of placement in 10th house, aspect 4th house, so it can give person very prosperous and very good life, happy loving life, good mother, and overall a good life can be seen because of Venus over here. But again, although full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Now guys, let's talk about Venus in the 11th house. When Venus is placed in the 11th house, it obviously aspects the 5th house of love, romance, education, kids, creative talent, stock market, or like the speculation business, and a lot more. Okay, so after marriage, like loving romance right there in the marriage can be seen, like good kids, etc. can be seen. But generally, Venus in the 11th house consider a very good golden touch kind of placement, right? Native love luxurious touch in everything in his life, everything. Native might have a good friends, good gains, and especially if Venus is in 11th house and you are like going through Venus dasha, then my god, my boy, you will, my dear boy and girl, you are really lucky, you have everything amazing. Venus in the 11th house can give you a very rich or influential people as your friends or like in your network circle. Native have huge and influential people in their network circle, like the rich brand. And especially because of Venus in the 11th house, you have, like, whether you are male and female, you have females, especially has like the beautiful and rich females in your network circle. Okay, you will spend like on lavish parties, social gatherings. These things can also be seen. People are like impressed by your luxurious lifestyle, etc. because of Venus over here. uh, you might be in business of female related to product like cosmetology or cosmetics, jewelry, female related work can be seen, like business can be seen. You may also make money or like invest in stock market, gains from stock market. These things can also be seen because of Venus in the 11th house. You, or I can say native, uh, fond of like music, drama, and career in all these kind of things. And there is strong chances that maybe living in abroad can also be seen. um, you know because of this, you guys are like genius in fundraising through large fundraising organizations such as political party, corporate lobbies, or like the social change campaign and community association. These things can also be seen because 11th house is the house of network circle and all these kind of things. And because Venus is placed over there, that can show that you are great at raising money through those things. But what you do at the end of that, well, that depends upon you. So they also help their elder sibling, because 11th house is the house of your elder sibling also. So it can make a very pleasant relation with your elder sibling because Venus is there in your 11th house. So a relation with the elder sibling is good. And also you help your elder sibling. Okay, elder sibling can be wealthy and influential person can also be seen. From here, Venus aspect the 5th house, as I already told you, love, romance, stock market, progeny, intelligence, and study, etc. So there is chances native fall in love and blessed with an adorable spouse and children. Okay, uh, so sometime it can also be seen that because of this, native may meet his spouse at some social gatherings. So guys, this is all about Venus in the 11th house. It's really one of my favorite placements. So if you have this, then really you are lucky. You can take my personal consultation because obviously you will have money and you can take it. I know that you can take it, and I can just try to help you about Venus in the 12th house. So my dear boys and girls, if you have Venus in the 12th house, it means that by its 7th aspect, it will aspect its 6th house. So by aspecting the 6th house, it means a lot. But generally, Venus in the 12th house means that you so Venus in the 12th house, these guys love to sleep and dream, right? The dreamy kind of people, because 12th house is like the other kind of things, right? So Venus will act here as a See, Venus in the 12th house makes a person very lustful person. Okay, uh, involved in different kind of things. He like it may make you a person who likes to have like very private life, or like who prefer privacy and lonely time. These things can be seen. Contrary to 11th house, 11th house like have like all those kind of social gathering and all these kind of things, party, etc. But contrary to that, Venus in the 12th house native will spend less and save more. Okay, but he will be quite charitable person, likes to do charity, help people. Like you can see Venus in the 11th house person make money by all these kind of fundraiser kind of thing, and they have the capability. And over here Venus in the 12th house are a kind of a person who would like to give charity and help people. Are you getting my point? uh, Venus in the 12th kind of a person may not be so popular among friends, because obviously they would like to spend time alone, and also they may have sometime less friend. They will prefer having independent business, okay, because of Venus in the 12th house. But obviously for that full horoscope consultation is required. Also Venus in the 12th house likes to like sleep and dreamy kind of person. These people may be full of imagination and fantasies in their mind. Now what kind of imagination and fantasies it is, well, that that depend upon a lot of things. Okay, there are strong chances of going to foreign lands. Although Venus in the 12th house, generally they say it's really a good placement, because Venus is considered good over here, because naturally according to Kal Purusha, it's the house of Pisces and Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. That's why it's making you charitable, na? Because obviously in the 12th houses naturally have that energy. So also like there's strong chances of like the foreign placement, or like foreign going to foreign places can be seen in work, career related to foreign travel, or like foreign people, foreign clients, investment in foreign countries. A spiritual journey to foreign countries can be seen. Let's say you are living in United States of America and you have this placement, you can go to India for some spiritual journey. I have seen like people back there like going to Haridwar or Rishikesh for like spiritual people, some people from Switzerland just traveling to right there. So these kind of placement can show that, right? So it may also possible that wife of the native, especially if you are a male, then your wife can be a foreigner if you have Venus in the 12th house. Okay guys, overall like they say that Venus performs good in 12th house, but generally it's like I can say okay placement, depending upon the other thing. We have to see that I have just discussed the one side, the positive sides, but obviously full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. But yes, Venus in the 12th house can make you charitable. It can make your wife like wife from the foreign land, maybe interested in like the bed pleasures kind of thing, obviously because of 12th house. And Venus in the 12th can make money through foreign sources. So all these kind of things are generally seen. So guys, this is all about Venus, and in according to the D1 chart and different houses, and like and its aspect and your spouse. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and please hit that like button, subscribe button. I will catch you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.